The one thing I want to talk about that, two things really, is a data purge and segregating your data. And so segregating data, this is like something I learned this year through other accounting firms. And I think it's very pertinent to healthcare providers. Segregate your data. All your patient data all needs to be in your EMR, right? Well, then don't let it also be in Google Drive or on Microsoft SharePoint or whatever the Microsoft world is. Segregate it. It's all this data is in one place and it's not commingled over here with this data. And so find out what is your most secure place. And that's where your patient data needs to be. It really needs to be your EMR. I don't want to name names because I'm not sure I remember the right name, but one of the very popular in Texas EMR systems I heard did not have MFA. They did not have that as a capability. If you are on an EMR system, and I'd never tell somebody to change, but if they cannot offer MFA, multi-factor authentication, so when you go to log in, you get a text or a code or a duo or whatever, or even an email with a code, you need to bail. That, to me, is non-negotiable.
MFA is so common now. I know. Almost everything has it.
And it blew my mind. So I'm not sure it was true. I did not fact check it, but there was conversation about that. And that was just in the last couple months. But back to segregating data, like really keep your data segregated from patient data here, employee payroll data somewhere else. So, I know that some of the systems say that they do payroll and all of your nurses and everything are in the EMR. But if you truly are running payroll elsewhere, which all of my clients are, none of my clients run payroll through Vesta, then put all your employee detailed data, so security number, date of birth, those things in the payroll system, but don't duplicate it in the EMR. This also goes to those of you that want to connect your patients and your EMR to QuickBooks. I don't find QuickBooks to be highly secured, but I don't put any sensitive data in QuickBooks. I don't have payroll data in there. I don't have patient data in there. And some people want to connect those. I think keeping things somewhat segregated is going to be far more beneficial down the road to keep things. So if somebody breaches one place, they don't have everything. They have one thing. And then purging data. So us as CPAs, we're supposed to keep everything 7 years. Do you know what the patient retention
about the same thing? That's a difficult question to answer because it depends on the patient.
Okay.
Pediatrics are different from adults.
But roughly, same thing. You got a retention period. Well, I was really bad about what blows my mind. I love deleting shit. But then when I start really digging into our system, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to delete a whole lot more. And so we were saving QuickBooks desktop files we would get. And so I found how much data we were saving. And I said, this has to end. If nothing else, I'm paying for storage space because everything's in the cloud. And so I still have a lot to be deleted, but I've gone through and started that purge. But get a system. And now is the time, right? We're in December at the end of the year. I have kind of an administrative checklist of things I go through to clean up before I go into the new year. Archive old clients, yada, yada. Well, I'm going to add to it. Archive all. So I think I've archived 17 and back. So I think now I'll be archiving 18 and back. Then I got to go archive everything for 2018. Okay. Delete, archive, delete kind of thing. And on that, just a little tangent. If you're ever in a lawsuit or subpoenaed or whatever, if you still have data from 10 years ago, now you got to produce that data too.
That's true. If you got it.
Yeah. If you got it and it's in that request time frame, but you don't have to keep it all.
Yeah, that is true. That's one of the things about, keeping stuff way too long.
Yeah. I'm going to look at another one that we went through was, and I hate this one with a passion, but I'm learning to live with it. I'm used to having administrator rights on my computer and every computer in the office because I don't have time to call IT if I need to download some piece of software. And if you don't have an administrator rights, it won't let you download software. But if you don't have administrator rights, it keeps bad actors from going lateral movements and they can't get in as easily. So we made that change.
I have to say though, working for a firm where I'm not the administrator. I don't have, working for a bigger firm, supposed to have my own firm. I've not missed that. And I don't really know. Undoubtedly, I just haven't really come into a situation where I needed to have administrator rights. And so I guess what I'm saying is on a day-to-day basis, most of us aren't going to need administrator rights.
I haven't. It hasn't annoyed me yet. So I'm like, okay, it's
one of those things that you think would.
Yes, and I've been adamant against it for years. But I told my IT guy this year, I said, look, I want to be your poster child for safety, security, for IT security. And so I've tried to really try to put into place every single little thing that they've recommended. So much so that he even told me, he was like, no, it's safe to save your passwords in Chrome and stuff. I said, no, it's not.